I fall,
Yeah.
catch me.
Don't kill yourself, Scott.
I'm afraid I'm gonna go right over on that sofa.
What would these decoys be worth?
$25,000.
Come on, Keenan, pick up.
Ray,
I wonder where he is.
what were we thinking, Sheldon? What were you thinking?
This must be where he stores the bodies.
Where is he taking us? This is called toilet paper for the bush.
You know that security camera we had Keenan install? I think when we check it out, it'll prove that he's a hard worker.
And I think it'll prove that he's hardly working. I'm Scott Cousins,
I'm Sheldon Smithens.
and we're pickers.
See that fork in the road?
Take it.
We travel all over Canada.
Looking for hidden gems in basements, attics, and barns. For me, it's all about the thrill of the hunt. Oh man, we might have hit the mother lode here. I like to move fast. I can always find something we can make a profit on.
I thought I'd seen it all, Scott. I'm looking for that one-of-a-kind item that has its own story to tell. Just like the people we meet, every story is different. It's not junk to us. How'd you sleep?
The problem for me is I was tossing and turning a little bit because I was thinking of what Keenan might be doing while we're gone. Why don't you give him a call? You're betting red on the roulette wheel, I'm betting black. He isn't gonna be there. Ring.
Come on, Keenan, pick up.
Ring. So you have to be there to pick up the phone.
Yeah. I wonder where he is.
All I know is it's got nothing to do with double S antiques.
We did have Keenan install that video camera. Hey, Keenan, have you ever installed a security camera before?
I did some little bit of work when I was in the Army. Does that look good there, guys?
Yeah, I think that's perfect. You got the door.
You know we're gonna be watching you.
That's perfect. That's what they're for.
We can check the tapes when we get back.
Feel a little bit like a peeping Tom by checking tapes on people.
He installed the camera.
What were we thinking, Sheldon?
Spring in cottage country, I love it.
I've never been to North Cottage Country.
I've never been here either. Just look at all this rock sticking out of the ground.
Yeah, there's a ton of it. Oh, look at this lovely little pond. This is really sort of group of seven-ish, isn't it?
Beautiful. We're going to see Roger. Roger has salesman sample canoes, salesman sample kayaks, and salesman sample paddles.
Oh,
Oh yeah, Roger also collects decoys. And apparently he's got a couple of exceptional ones.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Not very good at reading maps. But
You're not much of a navigator, are you?
look for the rainbow-colored chevrons. After the chevrons, look for the orange traffic cone at the fork of the road.
You clearly can't navigate.
I drive much better than I navigate. Let me grab the wheel.
I can drive and navigate. You can maybe do one of them.
I'll get us there.
Chef, sure you will. So keep to the left, because there's a fork.
All right, here's the fork.
Yeah, go left.
Wasn't there supposed to be a cone?
Just go left. Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. There's a chevron. There's a chevron.
That's it.
Keep going to the chevron. I'm guessing we're here. Found her.
Hey, look at this canoe right here. Little cedar strip, a little
That's
14
a
or 15.
nice
Oh,
little
isn't that
canoe.
beautiful? No doubt we've arrived because I can see a little cedar strip canoe off to the side of the driveway. Turns out it's a chestnut, pretty little canoe.
New logo.
Good morning.
Hey, Scott,
Scott?
how are you?
Roger.
Hi, I'm Sheldon.
So what's the story on the little chestnut?
Fairly early, 1920s, might be earlier. It's got the wide cant ribs up under the decks there.
Right?
Roger's a real pleasant guy, and clearly he knows canoes.
I've always admired canoes, the artistry of what went into building a canoe. I'm selling it. I almost sold it a couple of weeks ago.
So what'd you almost sell it for?
$1,200.
Just so happens he wants a little too much for resale. I was noticing is that you've got a couple canoes in the garage
I
here,
do.
too.
In here, I've got an old courting canoe from
Oh,
about
it's-
1915.
It's beautiful. I love the mahogany.
Your lady friend would sit here on pillows with her parasol, and the gentleman would paddle and sing to her, or she might read poetry to him. This was all the rage 100 years ago.
The one I want to see is the consummation canoe.
That was Pierre Burton that said, you're truly Canadian if you can do it in a canoe.
So without flipping, yeah. I have more canoes inside.
Well, let's go.
We'll get rid of the black flies.
Is this your main residence here, or this is the cottage?
This is my only residence.
Okay.
Whoa, I like it already.
Wow, I love this. That is amazing. Walk in the house and it's fabulous. This is a great looking place.
I love the whole cottage. What do you need out of it? Loaded.
You got some interesting canoes up here too. There's canoes everywhere.
I've collected canoes pretty widely around the world. I had at one time 140 or 150 different models.
I love the miniatures.
Those are pretty much salesman samples.
When you say salesman samples, do you mean like giveaways?
They handed these things out at trade shows and kept the kids happy, and Dad bought a boat or a canoe, eh? I'm specializing in the salesman samples, the factory samples. They're really eye candy. People see that and they say, okay, can I buy a big one like that?
Well, I'm gonna wander in if I can. Oh, there's a beaut over there. I spy some fabulous decoys, 3 shorebirds. I've always been a fan of shorebirds, and they look quite old.
Those are the old hunting decoys, so they're quite rare. See, shorebirds were banned from hunting in 1917 with the Migratory Birds Act.
Right.
So they didn't make them afterwards. Like most people who collect decoys, I got addicted. I bought quickly and rashly, and I soon owned about 75 decoys. And it was about that point where I was bidding several $1,000s to buy a decoy.
So what would these decoys be worth in today's market?
A lot of money.
I want to know. I'm just curious.
The larger 2 up there would probably bring, give or take, 25 each.
And we're talking 1,000, not 100.
Yes.
Holy shit. But when he tells me they're worth upwards of 25,000 apiece, we're out.
So do you have anything else to show us?
A few more canoes and decoys. They're in the back room. These are done by Sam Hutchins.
That's pretty pimpy.
There's a pair of mergansers, a diving duck, and these are beautiful decoys.
Hutchins is the only one who did this kind of cross-hatching like that.
Are they working decoys, these mergansers?
Those were, oh yeah, those were working decoys, yeah.
So what would something like that sell for?
The drake in the price auction sold for 48,000, and the hen went for 76.
My concerns are sort of playing out. I see lots of things I'd like to own, but I can't afford them.
We've got to find some stuff to buy.
Roger's got some great stuff. There's a whole bunch of kayaks and canoes. Is anything in this room for sale, or is this collection?
I will sell almost anything that is on those shelves with the exception of probably 2 or 3 pieces.
Now I'm feeling a little more optimistic.
I love that little dugout. I'm just trying to feel Roger out to get a sense of where he's coming from price-wise.
That's Haida, probably 1850-ish.
That's a gorgeous piece.
That really
Absolutely gorgeous piece.
Yeah. In the right auction, that could bring probably somewhere between 5 and 10.
I'm picking and choosing a few of the kayaks and canoes that I think I like and are nice. And you've got another, looks like a Haida canoe here?
No, that's actually Tlingit from Alaska.
okay.
Well, this is probably 1920s, and that's probably 1880s, 1875.
So what would you want for canoes like this?
Well,
Just spit it out.
too big a number.
All we can do is say no.
65.
6,500. In almost every case, he's got way too much money on it for what we can buy it for and turn it at a profit. And what's the story with the little one with the doll in it?
That's Greenland with a fish skin parka.
Yeah.
One exception is there's a nice little Greenland canoe with a doll in it. It looks like it's got some bone accoutrements.
Yep. 1920s, 30s, somewhere in there. Greenland are always long and narrow like that. They usually have these pointed ends with the little finials. But the best I could ask on that would be $750, and would I let it go for 4.5? Yeah, I would.
See, I like that. If we can get him down on that one, we might be able to make a buck on it. We're not massive distance apart in terms of what I think we could pay for it, but we're still a little bit apart. But I think I'd like to see what else you have before we make a decision on that.
Okay. Well, you're going to see the salesman sample canoes now.
Are we going to be able to buy one?
If you want to spend a small fortune, I've got a good collection. It's likely one of the better collections around because I've tried to collect things of pretty decent quality.
Oh, these are great.
Oh, I just love the model canoes. I think they're jewelry and wood.
And it takes about 80% of the time to build a big one to make a small one.
The scale is just so beautiful. These are museum pieces.
There's an old town that's extremely rare. That was the model of the full size that they made for the Boy Scouts, and that's the only known. And I have that on consignment to sell for the owner at the moment.
And how much does the owner want?
He'd like to get a little over 20. I might take a little bit less.
But you see, to me, that's just like, that's so far beyond the realm of what I think that I
Scott,
could ever get for it. We want to buy the $1,000 canoe for $300, flip it for $5,
yeah.
and let somebody else worry about making the hard $5. That's what we want to do, and I don't sense that there's a whole lot of those deals going on here.
But it doesn't. Okay.
Sheldon and I, our gears are both going at this point. We're saying, okay, we're not going to likely buy anything here.
This is not our market.
Yeah, yeah,
However, we're going to encounter these on our travels, and if we see one for a nominal
You're gonna call
value,
me.
we're going to call you.
Absolutely.
And we have a better sense as to what the market is now for these
yeah.
models.
So we may be selling them to him.
Well, there's one or two that I'm looking for,
Okay.
particularly. Right now, the gaps are such that it's like playing poker. I'm trying to fill an inside straight.
I would love to fill a hole in Roger's collection. That would make me really happy.
I'm happy to try to give you a good deal on some stuff.
I got a proposal for you then.
Okay.
If you're interested in trying to work with us, go grab that Greenland canoe from upstairs.
Little kayak.
The kayak.
Yeah.
And bring a few other bits and pieces that you think you're prepared to take a bit of a beating on. Bring them down and we'll see what we can do.
Well, what have you got in mind besides the Greenland?
You surprise us.
All right, I'll try.
See what we can do.
Yeah.
Now I'm putting the onus on him to make decisions as to what he's prepared to sell. Hopefully when he comes back down, that'll give us the edge. Sheldon, do you see anything on that table that you're interested in?
a few bits and pieces. Off to the side, there's a few bits and pieces, but I did find one good German stein of the 19th century.
It's a good looking thing.
Beautiful decoration on it. Maybe we'll see if we can throw that into the mix.
Whoa, you're really bringing stuff down.
Some of the best deals are made on the golf course and the pool
And the
table.
pool table.
Roger brings down not just the one I want and a couple lower valued models, but he brings the big money ones down. I know he wants to sell us a $5,000 canoe today.
If I was to say you could have either one for 45, if you're gonna keep it in your own collection, you've made a hell of a good buy.
I know a little bit about native dugout canoes, but not enough to spend $5,000 on one. I don't have enough knowledge
Yeah.
to stick my neck out for $4,500 for that.
Yeah. We're narrowing it down.
Yeah.
This is Caribou Eskimo from the Northwest Territories, just west of Hudson Bay. I'll sell it to you for $250.
Okay. And what did we talk about on this one?
I said I would go for $450 on that, but I'll sweeten it a little bit. How about $400?
I love this, but I have to tell you, I don't like it $400 worth. I like it $250 worth.
Oh,
That's what I like.
can't get it at that. You won't find them with the little paddler and a nice old fish skin jacket at $250.
Roger's a hard-nosed bargainer.
Tell me what else you're interested in, and
I like this little stein here, but I'd like to match it up with a canoe or a kayak.
I know Sheldon wants that little stein, because it's a beautiful stein. I want that little Greenland canoe. But I know we're gonna have to pay too much if we just buy those two things. So I'm thinking, let's get a price on the two and then throw something else in. So what would you be looking at for the two pieces?
$450. That's $100 and $350. I really can't go any lower than that.
I was thinking differently.
Yeah.
I was thinking, sharpen the pencil on this one a little bit and go 6.
Oh, I don't think I could. You said 6?
I said 6.
Well, I'm gonna say $650, but at that, it's yours at $650. I think that's not a bad deal.
Done.
Okay.
I think that's a good deal for
my
everybody.
My arms are broken.
Everybody's happy. I think.
You were quicker than me. I was going to try and get the extra 25 on them.
Yeah. Anybody else around have stuff for sale?
Yes, you should go and see Dick down in Buckhorn, the chap who did the restoration on my cording canoe.
Now we've got another opportunity in the area for a pit.
Win-win for us. We bought some fabulous things that we should be able to make some good money off of.
Thanks, Roger.
Thank you.
Real pleasure to meet you.
I had a lot of fun.
And we will come back with a little miniature chestnut.
Please. Yeah, I hope they call me, and I'll be very disappointed if they don't.
Thanks a lot, Roger.
Cheers, guys.
What a nice guy. I really liked Roger.
Absolutely. I mean, if we ever find a nice little chestnut, we know the right home for it.
This might be a good lead, this Dick guy.
I hope so.
Maybe I should give Keenan a call.
I'm sort of scared to give him a call.
Hello?
Hey, Keenan, it's Sheldon. How are you doing?
Good?
Are you getting some work done?
Yep. Just sitting here with all these boxes, slowly trying to inventory. I find that Scott and Sheldon check up on me constantly. Like sometimes I feel like they're just phoning to find out if I'm doing any work.
Scott wants to say something to you.
Don't touch anything.
Nah, yeah, whatever. Sometimes they're really grumpy, and I think it's kind of they're just their age and they're getting old, but I'm learning a lot from them.
All right, keep up the good work, Keenan.
Thanks.
We'll see you in a few days.
See ya.
I bet he's hard at work.
We're hardly working.
There's something right there. There's a big fat porky.
I love porcupines, actually.
On more than one occasion, I've had to take porcupine quills out of a retriever's nose.
They don't seem to learn very well either.
Not a
those
pretty
things.
picture.
No.
We're near Peterborough, the mecca of canoes right around here.
What do you like best about cottage country?
I like all the possibility of paddling. And we're going to see Dick. Got canoes.
Cedar strips?
Yeah, all kinds of them.
It's always hard buying a canoe in canoe country.
I'm gonna try and get a really good deal on just one fantastic canoe.
There he is, right here. Buckhorn Canoe Company. Well, this will be interesting.
Look at these boats right here.
Yeah, there's three nice ones right there.
Good morning.
Morning, you'd be
Welcome
Dick.
to Buckhorn.
I'm
Dick.
Sheldon and Scott.
Nice
Scott.
to meet you, Scott. I'm a restorer of canoes as well as I build new canoes the old way.
I want to look at this canoe. This looks like an old Peterborough.
It sure is. Probably 1930s.
And would this one have been one that was not canvas covered?
Yeah, no, it's a pure cedar strip.
Man, that's a beaut, isn't it?
Yeah, that is beautiful.
And it's going to be completely restored, of course.
And that there, what's that?
That's a lake field, about the 1930s.
Where was Lakefield, in this part of the world as well?
Yeah, about 10 minutes down the road. This is the birthplace of the modern manufactured canoe. It all started 1859 in Lakefield, and the same thing happened in Peterborough as well as in Rice Lake.
Dick's an encyclopedia of knowledge on canoes. Anything you want to know about a canoe, he'll tell you. He knows the history.
What I'm dealing mostly with here is much older canoes, and that's what I'm focusing on, especially the older shapes, the older styles.
The way it's constructed, it's just so precise.
Yeah,
Even in this condition, you can see the quality.
you can see it. They were so different from the canoes we are seeing built today.
Is this a repair?
That is a repair.
Early repair.
They have built it up with steel and wood behind, just to hold that.
Will you leave that in? Just
Yeah.
It's part of the history
It's
of this,
part of the history.
this canoe. Yeah. Beautiful. What would a Lakefield in this condition be valued at?
I would say about $2,000. Finished, 6.5, 7.
We love canoes. We'd like to buy canoes. The problem is they're worth more money in Ontario than they are in Alberta. I'm not sure we're going to get much today. What about your ship's wheel?
It's from Nova Scotia.
I thought it was a mascot for the shop, but I thought, give it a try. Is this for sale?
It's for sale.
Huh?
They're hard to find, hard to replace. I was surprised he was going to sell it. What would a ship's wheel from Nova Scotia sell for in Ontario?
I'm asking $400 for that one.
Hey, well, just to get things rolling, would you take 3?
$350?
Done.
Good.
That's a good way to start the day. Let's go by the shop.
Step in.
Oh, wow.
I love it. We walk into the main shop, and if you're at all interested in paddling, this is a candy store. There's canoes everywhere. They're on the ceiling.
Great old cedar strip canoes, bunch of different makers. Who made this one?
Odette, he was a builder for trappers in the area. So he built a lot of small, short canoes. They had 3 keels, so you could push it up on the ice or up on the bank and drag it over beaver dams.
Yeah.
When I look at the canoe, I look at the shape. And I think that's what excites me most. I mean, a canoe is like a leaf on the water.
What about this one here? I'm fascinated. It says Rice Lake Canoe Company, Cobourg, Ontario. I've never seen that before. I don't know if you have, Scott, but they must be quite rare, though.
They're rare.
Rice Lake.
I have only seen 2 canoes in complete shape of that kind.
This is essentially a wall hanger now, right?
It is.
So what would a wall hanger of that size cost me?
$2,500, $3,000.
I'm hearing pretty much what I thought I would hear. Everything we like's in the $2,000 to $2,500 range.
My gut tells me these are very reasonable prices, just not our market. That one, I take it as potentially you would work on that and bring it up. And
I would like to finish that one off.
Yeah, and it could potentially be several thousands of dollars.
Yes.
One of the things that amazes me is how Dick can take a 75-year-old canoe, redo it, and it looks like it came out of the shop yesterday.
The most difficult part is to actually build a new part the same way as the old part was made.
I got a funny question for you.
Right.
We got this kid Keenan, and I'd like for him to learn a trade. If he was your apprentice, would he be able to build a canoe?
He will pick up a few things, but there's a lot of
fine
tricks
skill-
of the trade.
What you're trying to say nicely is he'll learn enough to screw up a restoration project on a good canoe.
That's a good way of putting it.
So what's the story on the bookcase you've got here?
It's an old Huron canoe from the Quebec area.
Right.
Yeah.
Interestingly, Dick's got a canoe bookcase. Now, I know Dick, he would never cut a canoe apart to make a bookcase out of it.
But in this case, it was in so poor condition. So I made a bookshelf, but mostly to describe the construction process.
That's really interesting. It shows you how canoes are made. If you were going to sell this one, what would you want for it?
Throw in an offer.
I'm not sure what I would say on it. Why don't you throw me your best number, and we'll either say yes or no.
800.
No. We can't make any money at that. Unfortunately, it's worth more to him than it is for us to buy and resell. Do you have any other canoes you can show us that might be for sale?
I do. There's a number of canoes below here.
Oh, okay, let's go.
There is a couple of really old ones in here. All right. Here we are.
This must be where he stores the bodies.
Where is he taking us?
Take a peek in here.
We're not leaving here without seeing everything. Dick pulls open the crawl space underneath the shop. What do you find? More canoes.
What you're looking at is a Strickland, time frame around 1895.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Well, that paint looks like it's from the late 1800s or the early 1900s.
When it came out of the barn, I mean, the dust was this thick.
What about this one right here?
It's got vertical cedar strips on it.
Again, a Peterborough. It's called a cedar rib.
It's backwards.
Yeah, the ribs essentially becomes the planking.
Right. So it looks like it should have had a mast in it at some
Yeah,
time.
they were made so you could sail it, actually. The funny thing about that is that is actually a plumbing fixture.
So what would this sell for in this condition? It looks pretty rough
It's rough, but it's still an $1,800 canoe.
because it's rare. The vertical strips have to be rare.
Once again, really nice canoes. Mostly in a rough state of affairs, but we don't have the ability to do repairs on them.
Yeah, I'm not interested in one with work.
Yeah.
No.
That requires work. Okay, Sheldon, I'm heading for the exit.
Scott and I, before we leave, want to make sure that we've covered everything as best we can. We're here, and I'd like to leave with a canoe.
I can't give up that easy.
So we go back and revisit the showroom, and there's one that just draws us both in.
You know, I like that one.
That is a Peterborough built sometime in between 1897, 98, somewhere there.
That early?
Yeah.
It's a fabulous looking, rare, scarce, early Peterborough with beautiful high prows.
It is an incredible canoe.
And it looks so good. Just looks so good from underneath.
Patina is beautiful on it.
And the cracks don't bother me at all.
No.
That's a winner. If you're gonna have a wall hanger, that's the one you wanna have.
I'm scared to ask, but if a couple of prairie boys wanted to paddle back to Alberta, what's it gonna cost for that Peterborough?
You might sink on the way. There's a few holes in it. I would have to ask 1,800.
Boy, that's a little bit on the rich side.
No, I don't want to offend you, but we'd be closer to 800 in what we'd want to pay for it.
Keep in mind, though, that this is rare. Really, really rare.
When I hit him with 800 after he's hit us with 1,800, I'm just trying to ground our position. I'm trying to bring us a lot closer to our number than to his number.
800, no, I can't do that.
What about 1,000?
Nah, 1,500?
Do you have any old paddles?
I do have a few.
Tell you what, top nut for us, 1,100, throw us in a paddle. So we're not without a paddle in our boat.
Well, you traveled a long way. You got a deal.
Okay.
Fantastic!
Excellent.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Dick.
You're welcome.
I'm real happy with that buy, and we're taking a canoe home to Alberta.
What's the paddle? Is the paddle a Peterborough paddle?
It is a Peterborough paddle, beaver-tailed paddle.
Fantastic. The paddle alone is worth many hundreds of dollars.
Are you gonna throw in a couple decals? One for this and one for that?
I sure will.
Excellent, that is a great deal for us. You were really fair with
Welcome.
us.
We'll go get some tie downs and we'll be back.
That is a beaut, Shell.
That's a good buy, easy, quick flip at 500.
Hang it from the ceiling and put not for sale on it. Because I think we can get 3,500 for it if it's not for sale. Dick, it's been a real pleasure.
And an education for us.
Thank you.
Just a great day picking all around.
If you come out our way, come see us, but we'll be back to see you.
Love to see you guys. It was really great to deal with them. It was fun. I had a great day.
I'll send you a couple pictures after we turn that into 2 good bookcases.
Wasn't Dick a wealth of information? Wow.
Yeah. But I gave him my best shot on the joke about turning it into a bookcase, and he just gave me the straight dead man stare. Keenan, what do you think he's doing right now, right this minute?
If I had to guess, he's probably cleaning stuff.
If I had a guess, he's probably in a bar with a girl that he met in a bar.
I think you underestimate Keenan.
2 girls?
Pretty hospitable here in Southern Ontario.
We always do well here.
We're going to see Andy and Linda, and apparently they are auction fanatics. Now they've discovered they got too much.
Well, this should be a little bit of a different take. We've been doing nothing but really canoes while we've been here.
Andy likes a musical instrument, so you might find that interesting.
Well, maybe he's got a couple guitars for sale.
Am I heading in the right direction?
Go left here.
Look at that barn.
Oh, look, yeah, there's the guitars. Look at the guitars.
Yeah. We're driving up and I see a really nice vintage barn. I'm hoping it's full of good stuff.
Band of brothers?
I think they jam out in the barn.
Huh. Look at these cats. I love that.
Is that Andrew right there?
Good day.
Hey, you must be Andy.
I am.
Scott, how are
Nice
you?
to meet you, Scott.
Hi, Andy. Nice to meet you.
We were chasing your cats up the driveway.
Don't worry, they'll move. This is my wife, Linda.
Hi, Linda. Scott.
Hi. Hi, Scott.
I'm Sheldon.
Hi, Sheldon.
So do we have stuff in the house and stuff in the barn?
Yeah, there's stuff in the basement and in the kitchen and lots of stuff in the barn.
So do you want to head inside?
Sure, yeah.
Show
come
us
on
what
in.
you got.
Come on in.
Oh, wow.
I like your old house. It's great.
Thank you. This was 1925.
We go into this nice old farmhouse, and they've got lots of stuff.
Yeah, I've been collecting for a long time. I'm an auction hunter.
Oh, yeah? Local auctions?
Yeah, actually, there's quite a few in this area.
Cameras, wow.
That's in my background. I've been in film and video for a long time. I've been a photographer all my life, so I collect a lot of cameras.
Got any Leicas?
No. I've got an old Kodak, 1904.
We see those quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
Cameras are a real tough item. Good cameras are worth good money. Low-end cameras are worth nothing. We took a quick look, didn't see anything that struck us as being exceptional, so we just moved on.
Kind of a neat old movie projector you got there. It's got a good look to it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I've been collecting for I don't know how long, and then you end up running out of space. If you keep collecting like I do, after a while there's no space for it, so you need to find a home for them.
What's that? Big pincer.
That would be, how do I put this politely? A denutter. Make bulls into steers.
Yikes! You never know what you're gonna find, do you?
When you're in a house that's 100 years old, sometimes you get lucky and find some old pieces.
You got some musical instruments in here.
Yeah, I play most of them.
So this is your recording studio, is
Well,
it?
it was at one point. We got a little crowded and we ended up moving into the barn. There's a couple of friends of mine that live sort of in the neighborhood.
You're the band of brothers.
Well, yeah, I guess. I've been a musician most of my life, so any kind of antique instrument of any type always catches my interest. As an Epiphone,
Yeah, is it an old Epiphone?
it's probably 60s.
70s. It's sort of a knockoff of an ES335.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful red Epiphone guitar. It's in real tough playing condition, but it's a good-looking wall hanger.
I paid $400 for it about 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, and this is probably a $400 to $600 guitar now. If it was a Gibson, it'd be a $4,000 to $6,000 guitar.
Yeah. Scott certainly knows musical instruments, and I do appreciate that. I mean, he really knows his stuff.
So what would you want for that if you were going to sell it?
I'd be willing to take what I paid for it.
$400, eh? I gotta think on that one, but
Okay.
because I'm not thinking about price. I'm thinking about whether it's gonna crack before I get it back to Calgary.
Well, I'll tell you, it's dry in this house, so.
Is it dry in here?
It is dry in
Because
this
it isn't dry outside. It's
No, not
humid.
today, yeah.
I'm putting that in the back of my mind because I'm not sure I want to transport that to Calgary for that price. What's the story on the old banjo?
I picked that up at an auction, I don't know, a long time ago. I don't know a heck of a lot about it, but I know it's sold.
It's not much of a musical instrument, but it's a good wall hanger. Looks good.
I've never been able to figure out how to play one of those things.
It's got different tuning. You know, it's not like a guitar.
Yeah.
It's more like a mandolin and banjo are
You
all.
can play a banjo, you are a true picker.
Yeah.
What would you want out of that?
I don't know, I would say, I don't know, $100?
Way too much for us for a wall hanger. I think you like it a little more than we do.
Okay.
We'll think about that and maybe package it with something else. Well, let's look around. Let's see what else you got.
Sure.
Andy's got some odds and sods, and I'm hoping that we're gonna find a gem there that's just hidden.
More
Well,
guitars.
That's a pig, isn't it?
Yeah, you have to have strong shoulders for that one.
Andy's got a nice old Kent guitar. My recollection is Kent isn't a guitar manufacturer. I think they're a distributor of guitars, but they didn't make them. That one might be a Hagstrom because they did some of the electric guitars for Kent in the 60s and 70s. So what would you want out of that? Assuming you want to sell it.
Yeah, I could sell it. I mean, it is a pretty piece. That's why I've kept it, and even though I only play it once in a blue moon. I would say, I don't know, $200. It has the added bonus it still plays.
I got to try you on at 150. That's my job.
Well, maybe we'd have to combine it with something else.
What would we combine it with?
I don't know. You're looking at the banjo.
Oh, you tried to package us.
I don't know whether I'm the best of negotiators. I do know what I pay for things.
I'd go 200 for the pair, 50 for the banjo, 150 for this.
Deal.
Good.
I think that's a good buy.
I'm okay with that. Well, let's keep going. You said you had some stuff downstairs?
Yeah.
Lead the way.
Mind your head. It's sort of low clearance down here.
Yeah, we're both low clearance permanently. When you're in a house that's 100 years old, you gotta get into the basement. It's always worth a look.
You're a bit of a crow.
Yeah.
This is called toilet paper for the bush.
Ow.
Andy buys at auctions. He buys box lots at auction. Every now and then, a box lot has a treasure at the bottom of it.
Are you into Christmas decorations?
Old ones, absolutely.
Some unusual shapes and designs in them, you know?
We know people are always looking for Christmas ornaments. You can put them out at a low price and people will buy them. Nothing too starry yet, but you never know. A couple little bells in there that are a little bit better. Birdies. They actually used to use real feathers on these.
Is that right?
Yeah, there's the best one right there. Your figural seashell.
Ah, okay.
That's the best one there. That one's worth more than everything else put together.
Who knew?
So what would you want for the box of stuff?
Oh, I don't know, 20 bucks?
I knew we were gonna have to pay at least 10 bucks just for the one ornament. Yeah, we can do 20.
This is great. I needed to clean up my basement anyway.
We'll sell the rest of the box for 40 bucks and the one ornament for 10 or 15.
So there's a little profit in there.
Yeah, little is the operative word. Every now and then, we just buy stock. We're not always buying the top end, and we know here we're gonna have to buy a bunch of little bits because we're not getting anything spectacular. No more musical instruments down here?
I've got an old amplifier. It's a bass amp.
So acoustic, who makes that? Is it Japanese? No, it's California, Van Nuys, California.
Okay.
I'm not saying I want it.
No.
But if I did, what would it be? How much would it be?
50 bucks.
Because you got to have the speaker to know whether it works.
Oh, it does work.
Yeah?
We can plug it in down in the barn, actually.
Well, let's go down to the barn.
Sure.
Good, I'm looking forward to seeing the barn. Nice house, but there's not a whole lot in here for me. I'm wishful thinking on the barn.
That's a great barn.
1887. It's an oldie but goodie.
Yeah, like your boat.
Sort of the raccoons.
Don't go thinking boat, Scott.
They're not in Alberta, so I don't think we'd make many friends introducing the raccoon to Alberta.
Come on in.
Wow.
This is beautiful. It's an old post and beam barn, gorgeous construction.
But can you imagine climbing on there? It's like 60 feet high.
Yeah. That's an old barn, and it's filled with stuff. We might find something there.
Lots to look at here. This is our stage. This is where we play in the summertime. It's a barn jam location where friends and family come over and play music.
I'd love to be there and listen to those guys play.
I have a feeling that barn just shakes on a Good Friday night.
We say that the only animals we have in our barn are party animals now. This acoustic amp head.
Right, this is the one we saw downstairs, right?
Yeah.
So this is the one you wanted 50 bucks for.
Yeah.
And I see you brought back the Epiphone. You're trying to get me on that, are you?
Well, it's a beautiful guitar, and I don't play it. I'd love to see it go to a good home.
Oh, we're out.
Hey, what are you talking about? This would feel very happy with my other guitars. When the Epiphone was in the house, Andy wanted $400 for it. That was a bit too rich for me.
Give it to us, Stumpy.
It's out of tune badly. When we got it back into the barn, I asked him again, what would your absolute rock bottom best on it? Because it's not a real good guitar.
I'd say 350.
Andy's got a beautiful red Epiphone guitar. That's one we want to take away. Tell you what, here's my offer.
All right.
I'll pay the $350, but you throw in the head.
How about 400 and I throw in the head?
Well, that was what we were at before. 50 and 350.
I could do that.
Okay.
I could do that.
Okay. All right, let's pick.
Enough guitars.
Yeah.
I like this thing.
Oh yeah, that's an old slide projector.
It's got like a Fritz Lang look to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess Metropolis, yeah. You want to take a look at it?
Yeah, can I get it down?
I'll grab a ladder.
Let's see if I can get to it before you get to me. Okay, if I fall,
Yeah.
catch me.
Don't kill yourself, Scott.
I could do it, but I'm afraid I'm gonna go right over on that sofa. It just doesn't seem as
Here, you do
much
your thing.
fun with an aluminum ladder.
I know.
Yeah, it goes. The slides go in the side there, Shell. See?
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah.
Here, take it down.
It's an early slide projector, and the slides are a 4x4 glass slide.
Does it light up?
It should do, yeah.
Boom!
Yeah, I was gonna say, it looks like a gun, right?
Yeah, but no, it was working a second ago.
Oh,
Until I shook it.
It worked for a second, and then it quit working. And I'm going, no!
probably blown the bulb.
I think we'd already bought it at that point, hadn't we? It was working until you picked it up.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
And it's still working.
We're good.
I love it.
You ever seen another one?
Not like this, never.
You ever seen another one?
Nope.
Me neither.
No. One of
I
a
love
kind.
it. I absolutely love it. You could use that in a loft. You could project a different picture on the wall. You'd have a different piece of art every night. So what would you want for that?
$50?
I'd rather pay 30.
How about 40?
40 bucks.
That's a good deal for Scott and I. At auction, it's gonna fetch us a good $200 or $300.
It's not going to auction. It's going to my living room.
And he's paying me 20 bucks.
Exactly.
Well, we've got some packing up to do.
Okay, let's head out. A bar would love to have these in there. Should be able to get $450 for the guitar just as a wall hanger. That is a beaut, Shell. This is just so good, I love it.
I think on a good day, we can get a couple $100 for that.
Hey, thank you, Linda.
Thank you for coming.
It was a pleasure.
Absolutely, absolutely. That was great.
Thanks, Andy. Really nice people. I'd just like to come back when the barn is hopping.
We'll stop in next time we're by.
That sounds great.
Having Scott and Sheldon come over, it's just like having another barn jam. It's great to have their company.
What a couple great people.
Yeah, I really enjoyed them both.
I'd come back here.
I'd come back in a flash, but in the meantime, it's time to hightail it to Alberta. You know that security camera we had Keenan install? I think when we check it out, it'll prove that he's a hard worker.
And I think it'll prove that he's hardly working.
Bet?
Bet. Nice park job. We're here. I can hardly wait to see what's on those security cameras.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Keenan, what are you doing?
Hey, guys.
Hey, let's check this security camera.
Yeah, it's just all on this computer.
Check our test run and see how it worked.
How have things been going?
Busy.
Will we see that on the security camera you set up? Nothing but work.
Nothing but work.
Let's see what we got.
Look at, he's doing inventory. I said you'd be hard at work. Scott said you'd be slacking. Looks like you owe me 20 bucks.
Well, we haven't watched all the footage yet.
Oh.
Hey, okay, we're one each so far.
Okay. You didn't tell us you were going to be working out.
Well, that was on lunch hour. I was just got a couple rounds in on the bag.
Another lunch hour.
Well, that's on the lunch hour, yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
Look at him working away there.
Like, this is nonstop. I've been.
Yeah.
This the whole.
Let's move this ahead a little bit and see how non-stop it is. Oh, yeah, he's working hard there. So you're inventorying a trombone here.
Well, somebody asked. It came in one of the boxes.
Oh, a little juggling. That's good, a little juggling.
What are you juggling? Fruit?
Why are you juggling?
Is that fruit?
No, it's just some balls I found. I don't even know.
Sheldon, I think we're about even right now, okay? You got him working a couple times. We got him juggling and playing the trombone. This is the tiebreaker, this clip.
Deciding factor. Who are those guys?
What? That's a band.
Well, I wasn't using the space.
You got a punk band
They sounded
in
good.
our warehouse.
I subletted the space. Like, well, this one's for you, and that one's for you. That's your cut.
So what do we get? A third, a third, a third?
Well, you 25, I get 50. Well,
All right, I owe you 20 bucks.
you can take it out of your cut.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on in.
Psychedelic girl, psychedelic girl, psychedelic girl, I wanna dance with you. Psychedelic girl, psychedelic girl, psychedelic girl, I wanna dance with you. Oh.